don't know where the trees at.
Is this the passing of the torch, right? Is this what this signifies?
It comes down to that front office and what they feel is most important.
The champ is here. We've touched down from a higher plane. Why you made it here?
We always look forward to that week because it was always intense.
You know that we ain't coming back. We about to.
The man, the myth, the legend, Dante Hall. My favorite player growing up was Dante Hall. I love you guys in the show, but Dante was my guy.
Get to dashing because you done on the warfield.
This episode of Chief Concerns is brought to you by betonline.ag and Underdog Fantasy. The biggest betting weekend of the year is finally here, which means more updated odds and props for Super Sunday. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. We have hundreds of prop bets, MVP odds, and exclusive in-game live betting. BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline offers you everything and more to enhance your game day experience. Visit the website today and make the game day action count a little bit more. BetOnline, the game starts here. Want to make some quick cash while enjoying the big game with your family and friends? Together with our friends at Underdog, we got a few exciting things to share with you. First, if you've yet to download the Underdog app, do so now and get free cash. Click the link in the description or use promo code CHIEFCONCERNS, that's one word, to claim your free pick plus first-time deposit offer up to 1,000 smackaroos in bonus cash. New users will also get a Travis Kelce free pick for every new customer who signs up on Underdog before the big game. Secondly, for all existing Underdog users, Underdog is offering a no-sweat Sunday entry for all users, which means that everyone will either cash in on their big game entry or get their money back in bonus credit. If you have no idea how to play, well, we got you covered. Over the last 5 weeks, we have given 19 selections and have cashed on 15 of them. Pretty good. Predicting higher or lower on multiple different player statistics. So we are ready to continue this heater into the big game between the Chiefs and Eagles and beyond into the NBA season. So let's make this money and have a damn good time. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Chief Concerns and your first off-season episode of the 2025 season. I'm Marcus Dash. Right there is my guy, former Chiefs tight end, Jason Dunn. How you doing, brother?
What's going down, man? How you doing, Marcus? How's everything? How's everything going? How's everything
Can't complain, man. It's the offseason. I think I wrote in the chat earlier. I obviously it sucks. The season being over is sad and whatnot, but you know that's what makes the NFL season so special, right? Where it's like it's pretty much all year long, right? Where you have the offseason stuff and the draft and all that stuff. But like it makes it so special where you have the 4 months of the year dedicated to football. But like I said, it's an 8-month build up for that 4 month time. But it makes the NFL season special. You have it for 4 months, not like the NBA where it goes on all year. We're just playing 82 games. It's only 18 games, and you got playoffs. But the offseason is special because it's got a whole new it's a whole different kind of season, right? You always see the winners and losers of the offseason. Generally, usually the winners of the offseason don't usually win in the regular season. However, it's just it's a fun thing. And you know, it's the storylines, you know, we can kind of create our own storylines with the offseason, right? Because we prioritize, you know, certain positions. We'll talk about certain positions. Whereas NFL season, the storylines kind of dictate themselves based on who you play the following week and the prior week. So I love the offseason for that reason alone.
Yeah, now look, we understand there's a lot of things to address. Like you said, everybody can, you know, create their own narrative about what it is that we need, what we don't need. I think you've seen up here, I just kind of wrote something down. I thought, at least for me, you know, I'm looking priority-wise, D-line, corner, DE, running back, tight end possibly. So, so listen, it's brand new. You know, the wound is still there from the other day. I see people talking about it. I see people on Twitter, you know, still kind of dealing with the loss in itself. But I you know what? Hey, man, this loss is in the books. It is absolutely in the books. And so it is probably for our best interest and our best mental, just to go ahead and move on, right? But also, too, just to address the things that we need to address. Some of the inadequacies we might have seen in this last game that was kind of glaring to us. And so there's no problem with that. That's what those guys are going to do, the coaches and whatnot. So they're going to kind of step away for a little bit. But the combine is going to be in a couple of weeks. and those guys are going to be up there. So I thought about maybe going up there. I don't know. It just depends if I decide to go up there or not. But if not, it's always just a good time for coaches and everybody just to catch up with one another, and the kind of former players. And then when you get to see everybody come in, we were walking on their toes, trying to look bigger than what they are, trying to look fast. Like, it's the whole, deal just involving the combine. So for me, this brings back a lot of memories just during this time. And, it's shoot, when was this? 96, almost 30 years, Marcus. I got drafted almost. So, yeah, man, it's kind of one of those things, man, a big deal when I see young guys come in. Do they understand what to expect coming into the NFL? That's the thing. Now, talking about this team and its loss, guys that haven't really necessarily been here before, do they know what to expect during the offseason to get themselves right? Also, too, we're talking about negotiations and contract-wise, being extended or going to a different team, being a free agent. All these things come about at the end of the season, right? And so what am I going to do with my time is the question. That's the question, Marcus, really. And I told my guy, one of my best friends from high school, I said, man, I'm going to start watching a little bit more basketball. Now, I like college basketball a little bit more than I like NBA basketball, especially during this time. NBA basketball takes a back seat to that. I don't start watching that until I start getting into the finals and, those things. But before then, I might catch a game on the tube or whatever. But other than that, man, it's going to be somewhat of an interesting off season. So,
yeah, Brett Veach is going to earn his money this offseason as far as, we always talk about and praise him about how great of a GM he is. But this offseason, this is where you get a test a little bit. He A+ the Tyreek Hill trade, and now it's time to tinker a little bit, see what you can do now. So he's embarking, whether Kelce plays this year or not. We're going to get into that in this episode. That time's almost done. So we went from the Tyreek Hill to Kelce era to the just Travis era, and now it's we're moving towards a different era now. So he's gonna have to. He's got his work cut out for him as far as fixing the offensive line issues as well, and also finding the next go-to guy. Really, I think it's gonna be a little different because we know we got Worthy, we know we got in Rice. Those are two badasses. We don't really need a future Hall of Fame tight end, right? It'd be nice to have, but we don't really need that with the two guys we have in the wide receiver room.
Well, I don't know. I don't think it would hurt.
No, it wouldn't hurt at all.
Right. And so if majority of our offense has been that, the guy that has led, been practically almost every category for tight ends, somebody's going to have to be able to pick up that slack. And so that is a question. That's why I have tight end down here as a question as far as here we go. Doing the opposite. Jared Wiley, Noah Gray, are they going to be able to carry the torch? If that's the case, we don't know. Okay, all this is just kind of premature. And I've said this, like you said, we'll get into it. But Travis Kelce, as far as what he plans to do, I think he needs a space to think it out. I really do. I think we need to just kind of let him have his space, man. Everything he said about it, I agree with him. And I'm just like, hey, shoot, this guy's got a tremendous amount on his plate to think about what he's going to do in the future. So a lot of things come into that. And so you can see the gravity of the situation when he was talking about it on the show, just a little, clips I have seen of it. But while we're doing that, man, let me give a shout out to all the people that's here with us today in the chat from what I see, man. So G-Pick, what's going on, man? He said, I had the O-line I want the Chiefs to draft. Gray Zabel from North Dakota State University. Okay, we had to see. Amder Brown said, G-Pick always early. What's up? Amder Brown, Drew Boucher. What's going on, fam? Good to see you on here. Sid McBride, how you doing? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. I hope everybody's all nice and cheery and whatnot. Look, the clouds, the sun will shine again. Sun will shine again. So Kevin Mars is here. Good to see you, Kevin Mars. Let me see who else is in the house with us. Lewis Cutbirth. Good to see you, man. Good to see you, Lewis Cutbirth. That's a good question. How to see you, Andrea Chanel. Good to see you, Andrea. Nice to see you in here. Enrique Trillo. Good to see you, Neff. Word. We know what it is, Neff. Always good seeing you, talking to you. Love you. Delia Segredo, how you doing? Hi, Marcus and JD, how you doing? We doing well. Nani Sherry, off season. Yes, it is. Nana, yes, it is. Jason Sloan, no Kelce, no online tackles, and a fresh offensive mindset to take what defense give instead of forcing when isn't there. We'll get into that. We'll talk about. But Lori Sanders, how's it going? Good evening to you as well. High value, high yield. Let's get back to the Super Bowl. That's it. That's the goal. That's the goal. And I think we're not too far from it, to be honest with you. You know, the good thing is, and we really got to understand this, our team is good enough to get to where we are. We're good enough to win it. We just didn't have a good day. We didn't. Our game plan, everything just sucked. It was probably our worst day, worst game that we've seen all year. Okay. And it caught us on while we were slacking. Caught us while we were asleep. So this whole revamp, all this, oh my gosh, and everybody's kind of up in arms and up in the air. What we gonna do? It's like, yo, man, chill out, relax. So we still got, to me, the greatest team in football. And to tell you the truth, and I had these young people say, Marcus, I've seen a lot of people crashing out. I just like that one, they're crashing out. Yeah, just, oh my gosh, just crashing out. I'm just like, yo, just what are we doing that for? Why are we so unsure of the things that happen? And probably the most ridiculous things I've seen so far is the way they talked about Patrick Mahomes and the conversation of this game took him down. I seen Joy Taylor get out there and talk. So I don't care if it's Joy Taylor or Opie Taylor. It don't matter who it is. But I think the things that we said was ridiculous. It's a ridiculous thing to say about him. Oh, his legacy, this stuff. Patrick Mahomes, okay, and I'll show you the one that Shady. Shady came in. I'm just like, yo, that's on point, Shade. 100%. He's like, so he starts off in the AFC Championship game. From that point on, he's in the AFC Championship game every single year since he's been in, since he started really. And that's the truth. Nobody else has done that. No one. And I tell you what, I almost seen this, but as soon as the game was over, I seen Fox Sports come out. You know how they had the top quarterbacks? Tom Brady, Joe Montana, Peyton Manning, then they had Patrick Mahomes. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. You idiots. Look, I love Joe Montana, okay? The nostalgia and the things about Joe, hadn't lost a Super Bowl, I get it. But also, Joe hadn't been to as many Super Bowls as Patrick Mahomes. Same thing with Peyton Manning. Those guys were great quarterbacks in their own right. No question about it. I love Joe. I love Peyton. But we could be truthful and say Patrick Mahomes, wherever you lay in this, is second best quarterback ever. I still say he's right there with Tom Brady. I'm sorry. That's my opinion. It is. I think Patrick Mahomes is, a better quarterback, or at least parallel, right there with Tom Brady. They're neck and neck with each other. They are. And because of what he's accomplished in the time that he's had it. So you could make your argument and say whatever you want to say, but for what this young man has been able to accomplish until now is unprecedented. It's unprecedented. And then just the notion of talk out, well, he lost this game. Yeah, that bad game. It happened. So what? He's won a whole lot of games. A whole lot of them. This man has been to the championship, Super Bowls. Come on. Nobody's else done that. So I just, idiots out here, man. They're absolute idiots out here. Because if you can't recognize that type of greatness, and that's like Shady said, look, I don't know, maybe it just, and then you try to compare it to all the other quarterbacks here in the league, which is, hey, great quarterbacks, but Patrick Mahomes is right here. He's above it. Everybody keep rising. The pat's still up here. Nobody's catching him. Nobody is playing right now today. So, hey, man, y'all can do with it what y'all will. But facts do matter. Facts matter, Marcus. We, like you said, we could create narratives. This is one of the narratives right here, right now, that's just burning me up to sit there and hear people say that. Like to pile on a guy after a loss like that. It's like you was waiting for this. It's almost like they were just waiting. They couldn't congratulate him all during his time as much as they wanted to. They wanted to sing his praises as they should have been. And they just want to dismiss his success? Okay, fine. I tell you what. You know, he's a giant in his own right, but you've really woken up the sleeping giant. I hope he comes in and I hope he burns all these suckers down and tears it apart. And I hope he talks to his boy. You know, Trav decides to stay and whatnot. Hey man, we need to set everybody straight. We need to shut everybody up. And to be honest with you, I think that might what's going to be the one thing that drives Travis. Like, I can't go out like this. That guy, I'm not going to sit well with this. I had one season I could get myself prepared. He can let them know this can be the retirement tour, right? It can be the retirement tour. And so if he wanted to go that route, I think it'd be an awesome thing to do, okay? But let him go ahead and go, you know, have the stock, take it all in, and then kind of go from there, man. But I just, the disrespect that they didn't been putting on Patrick Mahomes' name, man, to me is just absolutely ridiculous. It's ridiculousness right now.
So I find it funny. It's like I've seen they call him Coward. I don't know if I think he was joking a little bit with Nick Wright, but they put like a little tombstone that said the Chiefs dynasty from 2019 to 2025, and it's like, wait, so Brady went 10 years before he won a ring again after he won his third one. He waited 10 years. Because they still consider that whole time where Brady was there the dynasty period. It was just a different phase of it. But still, there was a decade in between his Super Bowls. They never said that the Patriots dynasty stopped in 2007 or whether it was 6, whatever the last one he had before he gets his fourth one. So it's like, if you're going to count that entire decade of not winning a Super Bowl still part of the dynasty, then Mahomes' dynasty didn't end 2 days ago or 4 days ago.
Well, even if you say that, what the Chiefs been able to accomplish during that time is still the second best dynasty in football. I can make that argument. Seriously.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you want to say it stopped or whatever, like the achievement is the dynasty in itself. To recognize it for the greatness that it is. Okay? By itself, from what they've been able to do in that short amount of time. If you want to sit there and say that, hey man, then I'll be it. Hey, we come back because we still played in the Super Bowl this past year, Marcus. We were 15-3. You know where it ended up? Oh no, well, total. I forgot what is that? 17-3. Is that what it is? Finished up.
Yeah.
1-2. So yeah, 17-3. So for the season, that's where we finished up. I just for the life of me to just downplay what these guys been able to accomplish over the years. It's so silly to me. It's idiotic. There's no reason or rationale behind it whatsoever, other than you're just trying to dismiss it for what it is. You're trying to diminish what they've accomplished.
Especially when Mahomes isn't retiring, right? I mean, he's not even 30 yet. I think he's 29 still, and we're talking about the dynasty ended on Sunday. Come on, give me a break. It's just stupid. It's so stupid.
Tom Brady played till he was 60 years old.
Yeah, and who's to say Patrick's not going to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
do you want to play the James Jones clip? 'Cause I think it's kind of ties to what we're talking about.
Absolutely. Yes, please.
So here's James Jones kind of talking about what we're talking about right now on the facility on FS1.
Nacho, because what Patrick Mahomes has done, we acting like this is just like fun and games. He has never not been to the conference championship or a Super Bowl in 7 years. And I understand Andy Reid is there helping with that. But even if you swap dudes like Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Aaron Rodgers, I'm not confident in saying that they're going to 7 straight AFC championship and 5 out of 6 Super Bowls. It's a lot got to go right, and it's a lot of plays that you have to make. And I'm not saying they're not good players, but what Patrick Mahomes is with that it factor and all that, I'm not just saying those other dudes are doing that. That is extremely hard to do. You know why? Because nobody has ever done it at the quarterback spot, ever. So we're saying just because Andy Reid is over there and you're transferring another quarterback over there, it's going to be done. It has never been done. The dude that worked here with Fox with 7 of them been to 10 never did that. And Bill Belichick was pretty good as a head coach. And that has never been seen, Acho. So just saying going on with another coach, with bringing a good quarterback over there, that's seven seasons to the AFC Championship game and 5 out of 6 Super Bowls and 3 W's, and you was about to three-peat?
That's crazy.
Which nobody has ever even gotten back to the Super Bowl to have a chance to three-peat. And we're saying just plug another quarterback with Andy Reid because he's had a lot of quarterbacks, and it ain't looked like this.
100%.
100%. 100%. Same dude at Fox. They had seven rings. Has never done that. Has never. So the greatness and whatnot that he's achieved, the standard in itself, has never been done. But all of a sudden, Fox gives him the 4th best quarterback? Are you kidding? People, it's hurt his legacy. Maybe he's not. Are you insane? So I'm just like, so what's the measure? What's the measure then, Marcus? What's the barometer then? What are we looking at? Because if we're gonna have just arbitrary things that people say, then what really matters?
I think the media was waiting for. I think everyone in the chat's been kind of saying that they were waiting for this a loss to just try to change up the narrative instead of just giving Patrick Mahomes the keys to the entire NFL kingdom, right? And they were really, I think they were all rooting against the Chiefs in this game on Sunday, but like. To come out of the Super Bowl to talk about how it's going to impact Mahomes' legacy instead of propping up Jalen Hurts, because Jalen Hurts is never in the conversation when they talk about the number 2 quarterback. It's always Patrick Mahomes and then the rest, right? It's always Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson or Joe Burrow. But now I think the conversation should have been the conversation should have been about who's the number 2 guy behind Patrick Mahomes. That's still the question. And I think Jalen Hurts is making a big argument that he should be the number 2 guy behind Patrick Mahomes over Josh Allen, over Lamar Jackson, over Joe Burrow. And the fact that they're talking so much about Patrick Mahomes' legacy and how it hurts after going back to the three-peat of a Super Bowl after 7 straight appearances in the AFC Championship game. I mean, literally, the floor for the Kansas City Chiefs is the AFC Championship game. So, like, I don't understand why people are knocking us. I don't get it.
What jokers are trying to just get to come and play, okay? You try to propel Lamar, love Lamar. You try to propel Josh, love Josh in this game. You try to propel Joe. Joe's been out there tearing it up. You try to propel Justin. You try to do all those different things with these quarterbacks. And none of them can compare. Like I said, man, we need to just tell the truth. That's the problem with what's going on today, man. There ain't no truth telling. Ain't no truth talks. And Ocho's one of those guys that drives the narrative. He's one of those dudes. You know what I'm saying? Joy, too. Oh, well, true. It makes a lot of sense. Both them jokers, you know. I'm talking about them, but they want to drive the narrative about what this is. And other ones come out there, the little, analysts and pundits and stuff like that, man. Talking heads is getting paid to do it. Hey, recognize greatness for what it is and where it's at. It don't cost you anything to do that. It doesn't. So, it's unreal to me. It's unreal.
Yeah. Yeah, that was great words by James Jones there. Loved hearing that. So, JD, you ready to kind of bounce in, dig into this off-season talk?
Sure, man. Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right.
We'll answer some of these people's questions, too. So,
yeah.
All right.
We'll dig into that as well. Okay, so first topic here. So according to The Athletic's Nate Taylor, who does a phenomenal job, he was talking about how left tackle DJ Humphries apparently wants the opportunity to get through a full offseason and training camp to become the Chiefs' starting left tackle. Well, many of us wanted this to be the case this season, especially when things got bad during the Super Bowl. It seems as if DJ Humphries thinks there is a fit for him here in Kansas City, hence why he's telling Nate Taylor that he wants to be in Kansas City and be the left tackle for next year and go through a full offseason and go through a full training regimen. 31 years old. I know we were really ecstatic when we signed him in midway through the season because of the left tackle woes that we had. What do you make of this and bringing DJ Humphries back? And do you think that solves our left tackle issues, bringing DJ Humphries back? Or is this more of a bringing a veteran and then maybe bringing a younger guy, be a draft or free agency, and then you have him compete for the left tackle spot? What do you make of this? And do you think people are kind of underestimating the importance of a full offseason program? Because this guy was coming off an injury. He's got cleared and jumped right in. I think people think he's a bum. I've seen a lot of Chiefs fans say it wasn't no part of him. He's a bum. He didn't do anything. Caliendo and Tooney were in the starting spot because he couldn't get healthy and he's not ready. Do you think that's a big factor, the fact that he can be in a full offseason program, he can get right and be the guy for us, at least for this year?
I'm going to go with the consensus. I'm looking over here. Teron says it. Keep DJ fixed right tackle. Do as a Pro Bowler. If he can return to that, then good. Don Peterson, really, the guy wasn't healthy. Todd Tofree, I'm in on Humphries coming back. Look, I agree with all of them, 1,000%. For me, the crapshoot is actually going in the draft and trying to get somebody, as opposed to somebody who is a proven left tackle. And the thing is, when you watch him, you watch his feet, you watch how stout he is, you watch his hands, he's a damn good one. The thing is, because he was hurt, it did slow him down. He's coming off ACL and then trying to come in and come play, which he actually had a chance and opportunity. He came and played. And then he, his hamstring, did that with his hamstring, slowed it down again. So a whole full offseason to get him prepared and ready, it's a no-brainer to me. It is. It is an absolute no-brainer. If you could get him with a team-friendly deal, still approving and, maybe get him like a 2-year or something for DJ Humphries, I'm all in for that. I'm absolutely all in for it. 1,000%. I think this is the most practical way to do it. If you want to know what you got, a proven Pro Bowler to get himself ready and, maybe lose weight or whatever he needs to do, okay? You have him in the building. You have him ready. You have him in your system. It just makes sense. And this was something that it was a question if he was going to be the one to come over here and come play during the last couple of games in the season. That was our question. If he said, hey, I wasn't healthy, well, guess what? Hey, buddy, DJ, you got a whole offseason now to get healthy. You have it. You got the time and everything to get yourself right. So this would be without a doubt, this would be my, avenue that I would go. 1,000%. And then if you needed to, you could get somebody else, to cover, DJ Humphries on that side. So for real, hey, why would you want to go get somebody in the draft that you don't know anything about? You don't know what they're going to do against NFL talent. You've seen DJ Humphries against NFL talent. You've seen what it looked like. You've seen how good he's been. You've seen how good his legs are, his steps. You don't have to go in and just teach him on anything. You don't. I noticed that when I'm sitting there watching him, his steps and everything looks clean. His kick step, everything looks good. But the thing is, if your leg is hurting you, that's a whole different thing. But hey, that's why you don't see him on this board. You don't see O-line on the board for me over here at all. I think they got who they need in the room. They could get somebody else if they needed to, to kind of cover that up. But guess what? You still got King Suma there. Still got Wanya Morris. Those could be the backup guys. But the thing is, those guys can play other position as well. That's the versatility that you have. I think that's what I love about this is because you do have guys that are there that can fill those spots. I think we addressed it. I think, just kind of looking, in the future, you had to. Because you didn't know what you were going to do with Trey. You didn't know what, everybody else was going to, how everything was going to play out. But I do believe DJ Humphries is the way to go. Sorry.
31 years old by left tackle standards, that's not old at all for a left tackle. 31, no. Especially a guy who hasn't really played that much, right? He's missed like a year or two within that time frame. So really, he's like a 29-year-old guy who's coming off an ACL injury. Let me ask you that. I've seen, like I kind of mentioned in introducing the topic, seen a lot of fans kind of scoff at the idea of, a full offseason is really going to help you, buddy. You can't even stay healthy. Talk about the importance of that, being under a team for a full offseason, getting through the program, going through the weights, the training camp, the mini camp, all that stuff. How important is that, especially for a guy who's potentially be the starting left tackle of the team. How important is that? And especially when a guy just gets thrown in the middle of the season, weeks 8 or whenever we got him.
I could speak personally about it. It was one of the reasons I sat out the year 99 from a knee injury. And I knew if I went back there, if I went back in and my knee wasn't right, I probably would have been out of the league, Marcus. Probably wouldn't have had an 11-year career. I needed that time to get my knee, not just my knee, but my mental and everything correct. I had to take stock in everything that was going on. And so DJ Humphries, I heard him speaking in one of the interviews, and he was talking about mentally what it did to him. The people that he felt like people just kind of gave up on him, that he wasn't that guy anymore. It's almost the same thing like D-Hop was sitting there saying, like, man, people just throwing me around like I was trash. Now, here we go. We're sitting over here watching DJ Humphries, who has a whole offseason, who can sit there. I could prove all the doubters wrong. I got a guy, I could go in, take care of my knee, get everything where I need to get them to. Feel great about it, get stronger, all those different things. And they do a tremendous job now than it was back then. They do a tremendous job getting guys' knees and stuff ready. Technology-wise, when I'm talking about, all the science that goes behind it, I'm telling you what, this is the right move. I would love to have a DJ Humphries here. No question about it, that he stays here and keep him here for at least a long term, at least a couple of years, at the very least.
And I will say it also, and I'm curious to hear your opinion on this. It also speaks to, I know some fans may see, Humphries is slighted that he may have not played at all, but obviously he obviously respects the team for what they did, because they didn't throw him in. If he wasn't healthy, he wasn't healthy, and that's maybe the reason why they never threw him back in there. And obviously Humphries respects that, because now he's like, look, I want to come back here. Obviously, hopefully the price is, pretty amicable, a decent deal for both sides. But the fact that he wants to come back to Kansas City, I think it says a lot about, the vibes and kind of relationship between him and the team, especially if you weren't trying to rush him back into a guy who was hurt hamstring, hurt knee. We're just trying to get, we need you. We want to keep Tony at left guard. We want you in there. And obviously it shows that he definitely respects how the team kind of handled his situation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's important. It's important to have a home. And if it's his home for him, he knows that he could take a breath and just, and just relax and said, I'm here. Hey, brother, that does tremendous things therapeutically for your mind and just your spirit. Physically, it helps him out. And so also, too, for the guys that know he's going to be here, Patrick helps him out, whole offensive line. I hear people talking about Andy Heck. I don't know why everybody's mad at Andy Heck. What they mad at Andy Heck for? He didn't go out there and get beat. You know what I mean? I don't know. So this misguided rage in certain things and certain people, to me, I'm not really understanding. Like you said, DJ Humphries, it's not his fault. He didn't get he didn't play. That was their decision to do that. So maybe if he's saying that, hey man, I wasn't really prepared. Now he's got it. Guess what? You got the time now. You got it. And the thing is, if all of a sudden it doesn't look good, you still got time to get another guy here. You do. So we just got to put things in perspective. And I think right now, because we are lost in as bad as it looked out there, everybody's just like, oh my God, oh shoot, we need it. Okay. All right. We'll see.
I mean, look, he was a Pro Bowl. The same sentiment we had when we first picked him up. It was a guy who came off a Pro Bowl season a couple of years ago, not that long ago. And, we brought him in. He was coming off an injury. And now he's back to being healthy. And he wants to be with the team for a long period of time before he can actually get in the game, instead of signing him on Tuesday. And then the next Sunday, hey, you're going against Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa. Okay, great. And then he get hurt in the second quarter of that game.
But you know what? When he went in, he didn't blink an eye. He didn't blink. That's a good, you know why? Because he's been there before. Oh, Joe, yeah, I've had them guys before. Yeah, sure. Throw me in. I'm good. So, you get injured. That's one thing. It's a joker that's half shaky knees. and hadn't seen him before, right? Like, none against King Suma, man, but he just wasn't ready. And we had such a small sample size. Everybody kept saying, "Oh man, it's Willie Rofe." I said, "Oh man, hold your horses. Stop. Don't do that. Don't do that to that man by sitting there saying stuff like that. You sitting there talking about somebody that you ain't gonna get that type of guy out there. That's a rare breed of people like a Willie Rofe. So my thing is, man, we didn't know. I mean, playing at BYU, who the people he's going against. Preseason, 1 or 2 reps or series. Come on, man. We weren't being realistic with each other. I was sitting there saying like, hey man, look, I played a game. I didn't win against the best. I know how it is. It is a whole different transition, whole different thing altogether. So
especially when he never played left tackle in college, and we were like, oh, we're gonna make him be our left tackle. It's like, whoa. I remember you were like, well, hold your horses here a little bit. Like, this is very interesting. We're gonna make him be their day one left tackle when he's never played it before. I mean, like from right to left. Yeah, well, yeah, we're about to talk about King Suma because Nate Taylor's reporting also talked about King Suma, which is very interesting, which makes the offseason kind of come in shape a little bit more, a little bit. I know everyone's talking about King Suma. I've seen King Mo talk about King Suma in the chat a little bit. But so the other thing Nate Taylor reported was during the game on Sunday when the Chiefs were down 17-0, Kingsley Suamataia was warming up on the sidelines to come in at left guard for Mike Caliendo. Those of you who don't remember, Kingsley moved from left tackle to left guard during the season, starting in the week. He didn't start the game, but he came in and played the majority of the Week 18 game against the Broncos, where he played left guard, and he played left guard next to DJ Humphries, who's playing left tackle. So there's a few questions here with that. So he was going to come in at left guard for Caliendo. And my question to that here, I wrote it down because I need to word it correctly. So he comes in, switches from to left guard. Now, how hard is that? So right, he was a right tackle, moved him to left tackle, and we moved him to left guard. Trey Smith's a free agent this year, and he's probably gonna get paid a lot of money. Guards getting paid up the wazoo. I don't think we have enough money to spend on that. I think we need to be able to figure out and fine tune things. But I think Trey Smith's gonna get deservedly so gonna get the bag, and he deserves it after everything he's been through. Medical red flags coming out of Tennessee. We drafted him in the 6th round. He's been everything, and for where we got him, he's been amazing for us. And he's going to get the bag this offseason. Now, I don't think we're going to pay him what he wants. So, how hard is it to say Kingsley going from right tackle to left guard? Let's say we want to move him over to right guard. Is that a big change from left guard to right guard since he's just been learning that left guard spot? Is that a very big deal to change from left guard to right guard?
I don't think it's that big of a deal in a transition as it is more than it would be from like right tackle to left tackle. I think that's a lot bigger because of the space that you have in. Whereas guards, you kind of have this box, right? That's why guards right guard or left guard, center, those guys can play all those positions. And so I'm sure they've used him before at that position at right guard. I'm sure he's probably played that at some time. I don't think it'd be such a big deal. But, you got King Suma, you got Wanye Morris, you got, Norzad, he could probably play there as well. I mean, all those guys have the ability, probably could play, right guard if that's what they plan to do. And so is Trey going to be a casualty of, the cap and the money and things like that you had to pay him? Or maybe, you tried to, people were saying, do you franchise him? I don't, I'm not sure. But King Suma does have the ability to go to right guard. I could trust them guys playing that position, and Wanya Morris both. The thing is, at guard, man, you got to be an absolute monster. You got to be violent with everything that you do, because the big boys is in there. They're strong, powerful, and they push all the time. And so we just got to understand that those guys got to be ready. Can they handle that? And that'll be up to the coaches to be able to do. Do I think he could do it as far as King Suma? Sure, I think he could. Absolutely.
And I remember correctly from that Week 18 game, you actually said he didn't play that bad at that left guard spot. He was pretty solid during that game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, because like I said, it is the guy's right there in front of you, and you can get your hands on the guy quickly, helps you out tremendously. And this is somebody, I'm telling you from a tight end, if I got me, a 7-tech, 5-7, 8 technique as opposed to a wide 9, it's a lot different. If I get my hands on the guy right now, I'm going to hold the dog out of you. You know what I mean? And you're not going to be able to charge the way that you want to, just run past me. Because I can hit you, that's power with power. So it's force against force immediately, right now. Put your hands on them. Short set them. Where tackle, you got to kick step and you got to get back. Why? Because you got speed guys that's trying to, tear your head off. That's why it's hard. It's like one of the hardest positions to play because you in space. You may not get any help. Guard, you're going to get help. Center's going to help you. You got a guy on the inside and outside of you. So.
Greg Cassell was on Colin Coward's show today. And he was talking about, he didn't say names, but he was breaking down our game tape. One of the plays on offense. Early on in the game, it was like 14-0. Mahomes found, or 17-0. Mahomes has a double move on a Worthy on the top of the field, and he's there. Mahomes has no time to throw that ball. Cassell didn't name names, but he goes, I just watching the film. He said there's 3 guys in that offensive line who are not starting NFL. They're not starting caliber players in the league. He didn't name the names. I think I can guess one of them. The other 2, that was where I was like, huh. Well, he's not starting left tackle, so right there, he's a starting left guard. He's not starting left tackle, so maybe that's the one of them. But I'm going to guess Caliendo's the other one. He's not a starting left guard. He's a reserve guy. The other one, that's where I don't know who he's talking about. If based on play wise from what you saw Sunday, who do you think he was talking about from that?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I have no idea. He could have been saying Joe Tooney, but that he's out of position because of the way. So I don't know if the play in itself. I don't know. I haven't looked at it, but if he's pointed out and seeing the guys get beat, maybe you could. You could
probably say, yeah. I was listening to it. I wasn't watching it, but he talked about that. But so since Kingsley's about to go in 17-0, he's one on the sideline to go in at left guard. So I see a bunch of people comment on this on Chiefs Twitter, and obviously there's always funny takes and sometimes overreactions. But so the one thing is, if Tune's going to go in or Kingsley's going to go in for Caliendo, the fact that they did not put him in after being down 17-0, is that a matter of talent? Because if we want him to be a starting offensive guard going forward next year, but he can't beat out Caliendo, that's kind of a scary thing to me, the fact they wouldn't throw him in the middle of that game. Is that more they just want to keep the kind of cohesion on the line, you think, just in your opinion? More of a keeping cohesion on the line, or is it more like, no, Caliendo's a better guard than you are at this point in time, and we're not going to go with you right now?
Probably they wanted to keep cohesion. And I think if you 2 feet in and you decide, look, this is the route we're going to go, okay? He may fix it. Maybe we get him a good talking to at the half, right? Get him the heads back in there, and it changes, okay? And if they have faith in him, he's done a pretty fairly decent job these last few games. It's like, you know what? Let's just keep riding. We keep riding it, okay? We don't want to do this and pull him out. Let's just keep riding and see how it goes. The problem is that D-line was so thirsty that them jokers was, man, I'm talking about putting speed knots on Joker's head. They were sitting there saying, Baldy broke one down when Trey Smith came over and got hammered by Nolan Smith on the kick-out block. Brody was showing that Nolan was doing that to almost every pulling guard. I don't know how many guys was watching that film, if the guards wasn't watching that film with Nolan Smith, but that sucker hit Trey and stood him up. And on that play, Caliendo got beat too. And so it was like we started to have Pacheco's trying to run in, but he had nowhere to run. Because Trey's neck got shortened up. Caliendo got beat right off the bat. It's a bad play. It's a bad play. So maybe they was just like, man, let's just go ahead and just go with it. So, shame, man. It's a shame. But I like what Jacob Donabauer said. I said, what did you say, Jacob, before that? He said, watching all 22, there were a lot, and I mean a lot of plays where someone was open and a few definitely deep bombs. Absolutely. There was. And everybody was trying to use the narrative. Well, the receivers not getting open. No, they were getting open. We gave him some time. We gave Pat some time. He picked them apart. When we gave Pat time, he made some good throws. I still go to the point of us not moving guys around. If you wanted to do maybe, like I said, slide protection or sprint protection to kind of move those guys, sure. Could have helped out too. If you want to do a little rollout, quick little rollout, short rollout, absolutely. But, the way that it was, man, it just didn't work. Like I said, I keep going back to this, Marcus. Hey, we could talk about pass protection all we want to, but with daggone, how can we run the daggone football? How about that?
Yeah, that's play calling, man. That's something that, we talked about all year, how random it was. So since we're talking about play calling, we do have a question here from a few people about the play calling. Taryn Young, please speak in the quote, Nagy doesn't call the plays, end quote, argument for Nagy. I want to know if he can do other duties of an offensive coordinator.
Please speak in the Nagy doesn't call the plays argument for Nagy. I want to know if he can do the other duties of an offensive coordinator. So if he's not calling plays, and like I said, man, it's a collaboration effort. Suggestions and whatnot, I'm sure, because Nagy's been there before, whatever what he was doing before, he could still do. QB coach, he could do all those things. He was a QB. But, yeah, I mean, there's nothing I don't think Nagy can do as far as on the opposite side of the football. He could probably coach it all. Probably offensive line might be a little rough for him. Other than that, man, it's true. So it's always, Nagy's not calling plays. Who's delegating everything? Is Andy calling all the plays? I'm not sure of that either. I'm thinking, like I said, Andy might take over at certain points, or Nagy might, make suggestions, and he might be doing some things. But I'm guaranteed they are talking about what plays they want to run. Okay, what direction they want to go. So.
Yeah, Jacob Donabauer. It's Andy's offense. They talked about it. Andy tells Nagy a code, and then he looks at his sheet to relay the play to Mahomes. Another question here. Joe E. Question. Nagy and other offensive coaches responsible for getting offense ready for a game? Question mark, question mark, question mark.
Absolutely. 1,000%. He's the one that goes over the offensive game plan to all the players, all the on offense, all the coaches on offense. He's the one that's delegated to Nagy to do. When he comes in the meeting, he lets everybody know this is the game plan, what we're doing, how we're going to attack the defense, what everybody's role is going to be. So he's the one delegating everything to all the other coaches and all the players. That's Nagy's job as offensive coordinator. That's it.
What do you make? I've seen a lot of fans and our subscribers say the Chiefs need to hire somebody who's outside the Andy Reid tree to come in and kind of shake things up a little bit. What are your thoughts on that? And do you think they'll do that?
You might have a better time and chance shaking up Dallas's tree down there with Jerry Jones and changing his mind. That's gonna work for you. Nah, man. They can come in outside the tree and stuff, man. But I mean, hey,
I do think they'll bring in somebody who's been in the tree. I mean, Doug Peterson's a free agent right now. To bring him in and be a consultant, there you go. There's somebody.
Yeah. Look, Andy's open to new ideas. I'm not saying he's not open to new ideas and whatnot, but as far as like Andy gonna run what he wants to run. If he's trusting an offensive coordinator to run those things and like the same thing, delegating certain things to certain players or the offensive coordinator, how much is it that's being called from those guys, right? So I know we say this is Andy's offense. Sure, it is. But within that, Andy's giving like this is what we're running. This is what our offense is. and they can pick and choose what they want to do. They learned it. They learned it all from Andy. They learned it all from him.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be somebody outside the wheelhouse. If they do bring in somebody, it's going to be a trusted person like a Doug Pearson to come in. But yes, at the end of the day, it's like you said, it's like Jerry Jones. And Andy's going to do his own thing. All right, so Jacob Donabauer earlier wrote this: watching others talk about things along with watching all 22, it's beyond head scratching on what happened to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl loss. Things seemed off all season, and things seemed more off in the Super Bowl. Appreciate the contribution, Jacob.
Thank you, Jacob. Appreciate you, man. And I'm DeBrown. Appreciate you too, brother. When you look at it, it's still the scheme. It's still what plays you're running. And if the defense they're doing their homework, they know what our tendencies are, they know our MO, that's what they're going to play. They're going to play the odds. And so they did that. And one of the things they made sure of was sit 7 in the zone and let 4 hit home. That was it. That was the game plan. And hopefully they make a mistake. And we did. We made mistakes. We got pressured. We got discombobulated. We got confused. And we didn't have nowhere to go. And we couldn't recuperate. It became to a point where we couldn't get anything going. And that's the most frustrating part, because it's like, daggone, you look at the script, all the things you've done, you believe you have a wonderful game plan in, and that's what the defense gets paid to do, to disrupt it. That's why they say defenses win championships. That's the reason Tom Brady had a top 10 defense his entire time. Nobody talks about that either. We have a great defense with the Chiefs. Okay, I just had to say that because everybody want to keep talking about Tom Brady. Which, the defense, he had the top 10. We now Pat has a top 10 defense. Okay, for the past couple of years. So I just had to throw that in there.
No, I like that addition right there. Ahmed Brown, appreciate the contribution, brother. How much should the O-line coach own? Multiple veach the players picked by Reed and Veach haven't performed well. Time for a different O-line coach. This is back to the Andy Heck argument. And we don't take the Andy Heck slander around here. We like Andy Heck. Andy Heck went to my high school, baby. That's my guy.
Did he? Andy Heck would be high school?
Yeah, he was like back in the early late 80s, I think. He's like one of the biggest guys come from my high school. Him and the Mighty Morphin Red Power Ranger Jason from the old TV show. Those are our two biggest celebs from our high school.
So you go to high school, them jokers on the wall like this, like
no. He should have a wall, but no, for some reason he doesn't get one.
Yeah. Hey, listen. I think Andy Heck does a great job. I think he does a tremendous job getting those guys ready. When it goes and makes the decision on who's a fall on, Andy trusts Andy Heck. You trust him. You can't play for guys. You can't. Guys got to be able to do what they can do through their ability. Does that mean that Andy Heck's the culprit why they didn't perform well? I think it takes every man to do that. And you can only play the scheme and plays that have been called to you. You got to be able to make it right. That's why you get paid the big bucks, because they want performance out of you. You might not like what you're doing, but you get paid to do it. Okay? You're a tool. You're a commodity. They're paying you money to run those things. So do you go get another officer? You probably could, but I don't know. I don't know what that's going to change. I'm trying to think of how because we had Matuzak when he came in, because we had, when I first with Mill, we had Mike Solari. Mike Solari is one of the best offensive line coaches in the league, without a doubt. And then when Mike moved over to offensive coordinator, that's when he brought Matsu in. So, I don't think you mess with anything there. So, but like somebody said in here, I think it might have been Jacob. Running gets you getting into a rhythm. When I heard Andy say, we'll learn from this, I hope he learns, your running game has to be one of your top priorities, especially in a game like this. If you're not effective running the football, then you fall victim to exactly what we fell victim to. We got guys sitting back on their heels, absorbing blows, getting hit in the mouth, and Pat running all around the place, looking like the quarterback from what's that? Unnecessary Roughness. You know, blow the whistle, blow the whistle. You know.
Yeah, no, I think that was a big part of just that we talked about balance for the last few years, and there was just, we usually get mad when there's a little bit like 75-25 balance. There was like 90 to 10% pass run ratio in that first half.
Man, God dog. I mean, yeah. 70-30 at least.
At least.
You know? And we ran 65 plays, offensive plays, I think it was. And 7 of those went to our running back to run the football.
Unreal, man. Well, hopefully this is a look in the mirror moment for Andy's play calling and some other things when they watch the tape with each other. All right, so we kind of talked about Travis a little bit, but we're going to get into a little bit more now. And Valerie, we'll get to your comment later because we are going to talk about the upcoming free agency. So we'll answer your question then. So another storyline we'll be looking at this offseason is the future of Travis Kelce. He carries a cap hit of $19.8 million in 2025, which is the final year of his deal. Many Chief fans are hoping Travis will come back and restructure the final year of his deal to give the team more flexibility in the offseason. But Travis Kelce is not set on a return right now. Here's Travis on the New Heights show talking about his future.
I know everybody wants to know whether or not I'm playing next year, and right now I'm just kicking everything down the road. I'm kicking every can I can down the road, and I'm not making any crazy decisions, but right now the biggest thing is just being there for my teammates and being there for my coaches, understanding, that there's a lot that goes into this thing. I've been fortunate over the past 5-6 years. I've played more football than anybody.
Yeah.
And it's because the people that are in that building and the fact that we keep going to these AFC championships and these Super Bowls. And that means I'm playing an extra 3 games more than everybody else in the entire league. And that's a lot of wear and tear on your body. And it's a lot of time spent in the building. Focusing on your crafts, focusing on the task at hand, every challenge that you set up for yourself. And it's that process can be grueling. It can weigh on you. It can make you better, and it can drive you crazy at the same time. And right now it's one of those things where it was kind of driving me crazy this year. And I think that it happens as you kind of tail off towards the back 9 of your career, as SVP would say, is, it's as you see yourself or not feel yourself have the success that you once used to have, man, it's a tough pill to swallow. And then on top of that, to not be there in the biggest moments, knowing your team's counting on you, man. Those are all extremely hard things to, it's just a tough reality. And, yeah. I think I'm going to take some time to figure it out. And I think I owe it to my teammates that if I do come back, that it's going to be something that it's a wholehearted decision. I'm not half-assing it, and I'm fully here for them. And I think I could play. It's just whether or not I'm motivated or it's the best decision for me as a man, as a human, as a person to take on all that responsibility.
Obviously a lot to unpack there. He was pretty open about that, which was great. JD, what are your thoughts on what Travis had to say? I mean, I'm hearing that 2-minute soundbite. What are some of the things that really stood out to you in that, and where do you think he is right now? Where do you think he's leaning right now?
I think he's saying everything that needed to be said. He wants some time to think about it. And he's earned every bit of that right, that we sit back and just wait to what he's decided he wants to do. So he has taken on a lot of games. I think he has 175 on his belt. He's played for 12 years. Uh, for people don't quite understand what that does to a body. The type of hits for tight ends that we take. Okay, it was a man that played that position. That is a lot. It's a lot on you. It's a lot in preparation, taking care of yourself. Every single day, the monotony of it, going into work. And the reality is you got to love it. You got to love it. You got to have the passion for it to do what we do. Because if you don't, that's where you get hurt. And it's always hard to get to a place that you may feel that you are a shell of your former self. But like Sasha said, the tone was pessimistic, but it's all brand new. It's coming off a hard loss that he played probably his worst game I've ever seen him play. Okay? His effort wasn't there. The passion and the energy and all those things looked like it was sapped out of him. I've never seen that. As far as the way he looked, and I'm not sure exactly what that was. So could it have been something that his body just felt that, kind of hit a wall? Could it have been something else? I'm not sure. But one thing I do know is this. If there's anybody who can come play next year after having a game like this, Travis Kelce could be that guy. And he could still come in and be effective. You're not asking him to burn you deep. He can still come in and catch 80, 85 balls easy. When we were doubting where he was going to be at the very first of the season, he didn't catch any balls. Everybody's like, oh, he's my 6. Travis still burned him up. He still got open. He still made plays, laterals. He made everybody around him better. So, and we look at, yes, statistically, he don't have to get the whole 1,000 yards and stuff. Like, he had, 900 the year before. Didn't quite get the 1,000. But from what they've been able to do, the success, any tight end would love to have that. That's just amazing in itself. And because he has a certain standard, that's what we're talking about, right? Somebody said it is a little disappointing. It might have been a little embarrassing to him. He has a certain standard to himself that maybe in his mind he has to okay, maybe I can adjust doing things a particular way. I watched one of my brothers, Tony Gonzalez, do the same thing. When you're not having the yards or you're breaking the tackles that you break. Tony was still burning them up year 17 in the league. He could probably played another couple of years. Trav could play football. He knows he can still play football. Mentally, he has to be there, have the passion and whatnot. So maybe off of this game, he's taking stock and reflection on what he wants to be remembered as far as going out. Maybe this all season he's sitting there saying, man, look, I just need the time and the space to really take it all in. Because like I said, the wound is just brand new. The game was just played on Sunday. It's Wednesday, Marcus. Hey, man, what are you going to do? What are you going to do with it? Hey, man, relax. Give the guy some space. Why don't you mind your own business? Let him get some time. Let him go out there and go help Taylor Swift on some concerts and go to Bali or wherever else they go and have a good time. That's it. That's all I want for him right now. I don't want him to answer any questions. None. That's how I feel about it. These guys need a break mentally just from this game and physically. And this is what kind of the demands that people put on, on players all the time. It's like, man, I just want to hang with my family. I just want to be a regular guy. Heck, man, let him come to a couple bars in Kansas City, just have a beer. You sit back, don't even talk to him about football. How does it feel growing up in Cleveland Heights, in Cleveland, neighborhood, and all of those different things? What's your favorite thing to eat? Just let him be a regular guy right now. So I'm like, man, just back off, man. Give me time. Give me space. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give him that time and space. I know what it feels like. And you know to a point where you're done. I knew to a point I was done. But I had other priorities and things out in my mind that I had to weigh out. You had to weigh things out, how what's going to work for your life. He's doing the same thing right now. Okay? And it's like being respectful. But Andre Brown said everybody want the first hit and take on it. Hey, man, I want him and Jason to go out and just grab some beers, man, just be boys and just enjoy each other. You know what I mean? Really. He deserves it.
Well, I think if with the podcast that he has, I think he'll be the one reporting it for the first time if he's coming back or not. That's right. You're going to hear it first. One other way to pump out your podcast by reporting that you're coming back and it's not retiring, right? I think we'll hear it first on his podcast before we hear from any reporter, I think.
I don't know. I'm not sure. Not for real. I don't, seriously. Sure, you might have Taylor Swift come out, hey, look, Travis not coming back. Somebody sing a song. I don't know. What happens, man. Look, we're just, it's too early for all of this. It really is.
Yeah. We've got about a month to figure it out as far as like when it affects the Chiefs as far as salary cap and all that stuff. Do you think let's say he does come back, right? And obviously he's going to want to go out on top kind of thing, not the way we just went out. Do you think he would restructure it? I mean, I think someone posted in here, we have 4 guys who take up 60% of our salary cap. They want to legitimately have a shot and kind of rebuild his team a little bit up for next year, kind of have more money and things to deal with. I mean, I know Travis, for the most part, the big argument everyone's saying online is, well, Travis has taken a deal for most of his career. He shouldn't have to restructure for now. But on the other end of that, because of the team he's played on, he's got more opportunities to do a lot of things, and he's getting paid more from his podcast than he ever got from playing in the NFL, which is wild, and good for him. Yeah. Do you think he would end up if he stayed? Do you think he would end up taking a kind of restructure to move money around? If
they asked him to, he would. He didn't need the money. I doubt if it's as far as like he's sitting probably as good as anybody could sit right now. Beautiful, golden. And this is something he could do after career's over. So he ain't gonna be fussing over to him somewhat pennies and stuff. He'd be willing to do it to get the guys here to get it done, right? Because it will be a reckoning for him, Patrick. It'd be a reckoning, and they'll sit there and say, "We need to get the guys in here to get this thing done." If it didn't look good like we wanted it to this past year, we're gonna make sure if this is gonna be my last tour. Okay, we want to make sure we get it right. Get the guys in here, talk about it, what they think. I could see something like that happening. Definitely.
Yeah. I think he mentioned it when he was talking to during the Super Bowl when they were asking questions about life after football. He was like, I'm privileged. I'm going to have a lot of options, a lot of opportunities when I'm done playing. So, like, he knows, and plus his future wife potentially. I mean, she's one of the richest people in the world. So, I think he's all right with the cash.
Look, he's fine. He's sitting pretty. He's doing good. Those guys understand what it's all about. And like he said, he keeps saying teammates and whatnot. To him, that's what's important. And he wants to come back and win for those guys more than anything else. If he feels like it's unfinished business, definitely. He wants another shot at this. And so I know I'd seen a little cute video they were talking about Jalen Hurts' kid was like, yeah, you get your lick back. He's like, yeah, it definitely got a lick back. I thought it was kind of funny.
Yeah, I thought it was funny.
There's some funny videos and stuff out, man. I just had to laugh. It's good entertainment. But shoot, get your lick back. Get it back. I see people over like crashing out over what CJ Garner said to him about your girl and she thick. And man, ain't that serious, man. Guys talk noise out there on the field all the time, man. What it is.
Well, it's one thing to say that on the field, but posting it on your story, that's where it takes a little bit more, right?
Did he? I don't know. I just heard somebody say this what he said to him.
Yeah, so there's a photo of them when they get like face to face during the game.
Yeah,
CJ Gardner-Johnson took that photo, put it on a story, and they put you shouldn't have left that thick the thick shit. That's what he said about his ex-girlfriend.
Hey man, silliness.
I had someone ask me online. I put it on my story. I was dogging CJ Gardner-Johnson. Some girl with the high school. She messaged me. She goes, what does he mean by that thick? She was like, what does he mean by that thick shit? And I had to explain to her. I was like, oh well, Travis' ex-girlfriend has a nice body.
You explained this to who? Who was this?
It was some girl with the high school. She goes, what does he mean by that thick shit? Because obviously a Taylor Swift fan. She was like, what does he mean by why is he saying that about his ex-girlfriend? I was like, oh, well, Travis' ex-girlfriend had a really nice bottom, a nice behind, and that's what he's talking about. She's like, oh, okay, I get it now.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we're not saying that Travis is made because of Taylor Swift. I mean, his podcast was doing numbers before Taylor Swift. That only increased it.
Right, commercials and all. Come on, man. No.
Yeah. Rick Hendrickson, Shannon Sharp is yelling out Derek Thomas's girlfriend's phone number during the game. Do you remember that, JD? I don't remember that at all.
No.
That's something Sharp would do back in the day?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, of course. Guys will do anything to try to get under your skin to get you out of your game. It's competition. You're trying to win by any means necessary. Guys will do it.
That's crazy. All right, so we're going to get to some of your guys' questions. Because some of your guys' questions kind of tie into our last topic here tonight. So, JD, looking at the free agents list, and I have the list here. It's quite extensive. We have 29 guys who are either restricted free agent, unrestricted free agent, or exclusive rights free agent. And DeAndre Hopkins is a free agent, but they have him listed as a void because it's a void year in his contract. That was part of the deal when we traded for him from Tennessee. So that's the list right there, guys. Pretty big time list. So JD, a lot of people were talking about in our chat. Valerie Sanders, appreciate the contribution, Valerie. In addition to re-signing Hollywood, would you sign another receiver? So obviously, JD, with this question, of the list that we have, the 29 guys, how would you, if you were Brett Veach, how are you prioritizing this list? Who would be the top 3 guys you would want to bring back if you had to prioritize this list if you were Brett Veach? Is Hollywood Brown, well, I know she mentions Hollywood here in her question, is Hollywood Brown one of the top 3 guys you'd want to bring back from this 29 players? Actually, I think I know who your number 1 is if I had to guess.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Who would that be? Who you guess mine would be?
My guess would be Nick Bolton.
Nick would be one of the top 3 for sure. So DJ Humphries, Nick Bolton, and 29. That's this is a list on here, boy. It's a list. There's a lot of people, man, that just gonna be the price wise gonna hit. So we talking, is it free team friendly deals and stuff, or just in general?
Yeah, it's like if you were, realistically, like as far as, because obviously Trey Smith, we would love him back, but he's going to make a lot. He's making a lot of money in the market, so that's not. I would say unless you wanted to dish out that dough for him, but I'm talking about trying to realistically here.
Oh man, I think Nick, DJ Humphries, I think who did a good job for us, but it was hurt. Would want him to have a full off season. Almost a Menahu too.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know if we can be able to, for what he wants. He might want to, the big deal. I don't know if we're gonna be able to get him. Marquise will probably be right there. I'd go with 5. So Marquise, and the fifth guy for me, I actually like Kareem Hunt.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of people in the chat were saying to say number 29.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, those would be my 5 guys.
Do you think Bolden's going to come, not cheap, but like, think he's going to be a good discount for him as far as like, we talked about before, running back and linebackers are both positions that have been kind of not paid a lot over the last few years, but maybe the running backs may be on the rise again. Who knows? But you think Bolden's not going to break the bank like a Roquan Smith kind of deal?
I don't think so. I think he wants to be here. Great fit for him. Yeah, I think Nick would probably want to stay and probably work a good deal out. So,
yeah, I read that they're gonna kind of use Patrick Queen's contract as a model for his contract. Queen signed a 3-year, $41 million deal last year.
Okay, it's doable.
Yeah, it's doable.
Yeah,
but 29 players, man, that's is that one of the most you've ever seen from a free agency perspective?
Oh man, I can't even tell you. I haven't even counted, but 29 is a lot. That is a lot of guys. But a lot of these 1-year deals. That's what it is. Like these, it's what you get. Putting a team and stuff like that together. You want to get guys on long-term deals, but sometimes these 1-year deals work. If it's something that it's not a whole lot of money, but you're looking at, and you see a majority of these guys are not making big money anyway. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. So, but yeah, I like the 5 that I just gave. I think is a good core group of guys. The 5. So,
and probably decently priced guys too. So you're taking a page out of the Brett Veach bargain bin playbook.
Yeah, Nick Bolden, Kareem Hunt, DJ Humphries, Brown, and Menahu. Yeah.
Do you have Hopkins on that list? Because Hopkins says he's far from being done. He tweeted that like yesterday. Where would you have him on that list? Is it for you? Is it more like you either bring back Hopkins, if you don't bring back Hopkins, you bring back Hollywood, and vice versa?
It depends on what they're asking for. Really. I love to have Hop. I love to have D Hop, but what is it going to give you? What is how good is the knee? How does he feel? So a lot of it goes into it, man. That's all that behind the scenes stuff. Okay. Which, only the franchise can make a decision on because they know everything about guys. I don't know everything about guys, but I know some things about them. Put it that way. Yeah.
Marion Oliver, this offseason is a defining moment for Brett Veach, in my honest opinion. Do you think this could be one of the biggest offseasons for Brett Veach?
Every offseason is a big, for the GM. Every season is. So, the thing is, Brett Veach has done a great job. Come on, man. Been AFC Championship games and Super Bowls. I don't think we quite understand, man. Just
yeah, we take it for granted for sure.
I'm telling you. No, this will blow me away. I think, man, spoiled? Yes, absolutely. You've done a tremendous job getting guys and stuff in here to represent the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Jeez, man, I don't. For real, man. That's why I laugh at this. I'm just like, yo, we got to hit a home run every time, and it's been happening. We've done that. We've done that. Big offseason, he's been doing it. So, oh, man. I'm just sitting there over here, man, because I just, like my playing career, I know how hard it is to get to, shoot a Super Bowl. Heck, daggone, for some team, just playoff games. It takes a lot to get into it. Take luck, talent, all those different things to work and fit. That's why, man, like, like the Chiefs slander and people just like, yo, man, let's take it easy. Calm down. Take it easy a little bit. Take it easy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and you're a guy who played a long time in the NFL, more than the average NFL player, and you didn't get to the Super Bowl once, so it's like and there's teams going on 7 AFC championships for crying out loud. 7 straight.
And we put work, hard work, effort every single day. Guys getting better. Guys trying to get there. Like, definitely every single day. Guys are dedicated to it. That's what we're doing. So, I mean, to me, it just blows me away. Phenomenal. So I know what it takes. I know the grueling hours, how your body feels, like your mind and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like we're talking about Travis. Like, I know how it feels. All season, when you're sitting on the side of your bed, the pain in your back and your knees and everything, your shoulders and your fingers and your wrist. Your neck. My goodness. You sitting over there, you like, man, I got to do this one more. Let's go. Got one more in me, or do I? So we see the product on the field. But the work that goes into it, I don't think people understand and appreciate exactly what that means.
Yeah. Jacob Donabauer has been impressive when he's had a pick from picks 29 to 32 for the last 5 years. That's insane.
Come on, man.
And round after round, too. It's not just the first round. Every round you're picking from the 29 to 32. So he's picking at the last possible guy in every round. It's a huge disadvantage, but somehow it's worked for Brett Veach. So there shouldn't be any questioning Brett Veach and if this is going to be a big season for him. Like you said, JD, every offseason is a big offseason for every GM. And Brett Veach hits home runs. And, like we always say, he shops in the bargain bin and he finds gems. I mean, and even look at the in-season management. Yeah, we didn't win the Super Bowl. We got to the Super Bowl. We got injuries galore. Hollywood out. Rasheed Rice out. He goes and gets DeAndre Hopkins. Pacheco gets hurt. He goes and gets Kareem Hunt off the couch. I mean, Josh Uche didn't work out, but hey, he swung. He swung for it. Didn't work out, but he swung for it. DJ Humphries could be our guy next year, and we picked him up this year to kind of get him in the foot in the door. So, like, Brett Veach, I know people are trying to be there's a lot. I've seen a lot of this stuff online saying, "Oh, Brett Veach just surrounded Mahomes with poor weapons." Like, has he? I mean, maybe over the last 2 years ago, sure, but like Rasheed Rice got hurt, Hollywood Brown got hurt, Xavier Worthy came into his own. So, like, this year wasn't supposed to be a bad weapons year for our team. Injuries happen. That's the NFL. It happens. But Brett Veach hasn't been slacking on that department. Yes, we talked about not getting enough guys, but then he fixed that this past year. And so the whole surrounding Pat with poor weapons, that shouldn't be even talked about because what he's done for the last 2 years for Pat.
I think people just kind of look, it's a whole, what have you done for me lately argument, right? I mean, when Tyreek Hill was here and Hardman, those guys were dynamic, fast, exactly what this offense needed, exactly what we needed. Now you can go obviously and say, hey, Marquise Brown, MVS, and start naming those guys, and Watson, those guys weren't really catching a lot of footballs. Sky, those guys that was dropping and stuff. We still won it. We won it. I mean, but that's why, Pat and those guys are so good. He can make some guys right. And they clicked at the right time, Kadarius Toney. I mean, these guys, Brandon's trying to find guys. He's trying to get deals. He's trying to get guys that want to revamp their career It has a chance and opportunity. Okay, I see what Veach is doing. Shoot, you go and get our guy. We thought Josh was going to be coming back. Josh Gordon, Flash Gordon. We thought, man, that was going to be it. Get him back, catching footballs, and does he still have something left? Take a chance on him. That's why somebody was asking, why are we keeping Justin Ross around? Because he's got an ace in his back pocket, right? That's what he's doing. He's been in this offense. Hopefully he's getting better. If we need to pull it, we pull it. Yeah, there we go. How about that? Take that one with you. You didn't see that one coming? Let me throw another one down. I'm throwing spades right now. You didn't see that happen? Take that. You should do better before you sat down. Yada. That's what Beach is doing.
I'd love if Ross came to fruition next year. I have my doubts. I have my most doubts I've ever had on the whole Justin Ross experiment going into the season than I had in the last few years. JD, they've really hurt me with how they've handled Justin Ross's his development. To be quite honest, I don't know. I hope he gets some kind of playing time this year, but I doubt it at this point.
Well, here's that's why I like the value of D-Hop coming here. D-Hop was provided that coaching on the field to help guys out to see it. They visualize the thing they needed to do. They're watching and they're learning from him, right? It's one thing to have a coach, which I think Connor does a great job, with those guys. But also, too, you have a guy like D-Hop who has experience, okay, of other coaches and stuff like, I was telling you, that could come in and say, hey, man, Justin, hey, do it this way. JR, come on, man. Hey, come out there, break a little bit better, a little bit different. When I was up in Philly, I had, Irvin Fry out there. Taught me a lot about football, watching him. Jimmy Johnson, Ed West. Learned a lot from him. Just watch them in practice. How they was able to handle and talk about things. The confidence they had. Like, it taught you a lot. You have guys. So maybe Justin, maybe. So, we're going to look another offseason. Guys going to come down. They're going to do what they need to do. Hey, guess what? If you don't do it, you're going to be out of here. So what happened to Kadarius Toney? He didn't want to do it the way they. Okay, fine. Guess what? You cut yourself. That's what ends up happening. You're going to find yourself on the other side of it. Guys get hurt, man. Things do happen. But you got to have a contingency plan. So have guys in here that can get things handled. How many guys that we see, they went to go get Devontae Adams. Where was the Jets at? Arguably the best receiver in the game. Now him and AR, now they got him doing Ayasaka or whatever that is called. Swimming over in the tent, sweating. Man.
So you're not ready to close the book on Justin Ross. You think we still got a shot?
We ain't losing nothing with it. We ain't losing any time. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a bonus, brother. If we able to get something out of Justin Ross, man, beautiful. Absolutely. I want to see him succeed. Okay? We know he has talent. But the thing is, it has to translate to NFL talent. You got to be consistent. Those things matter. It matters. So that's how you're going to be measured. That's how you're going to be evaluated. And so if you can cut it, you can. If not, then so be it. Hey, they send you packing.
I love it, JD. First offseason episode, and we're talking about Justin Ross potentially doing something. This is gonna be 2025 is gonna be a great year. First offseason episode, we're talking about Justin Ross potentially being something. Gotta love it.
Ross, that jump ball guy. Yeah. If we utilize it, there's things we can see guys do, right? We can see those things, but it has to work in the scheme of what needs to be done, right? And this is part of the evaluation that Andy and those guys were talking about doing. This is what part of the, all-season evaluation is. How can we make this thing better? Do we want to have a Hollywood Brown? Because we wanted to make it where we wanted to stress the defense, and we didn't get to do it, or we didn't have the time because our offensive line didn't look as crisp as they should have against this team. We got beat up front. Pat couldn't stand in there and throw the ball. And we seen one good deep ball to Worthy. What could have been. Right? I said off the bat what we should have did is go up top. That should have been the very first play of the game. Run past them. Make them jokers open up their hips because you know why? They're going to be expecting it every single time. You got to threaten. So,
yeah. Well, hopefully, like we said, the Super Bowl loss we can find silver linings to that. I think Pat's going to come out next year on fire. I think this offseason is going to be very big time for us because we're not used to getting embarrassed like that on that stage, particularly. And I think these guys are going to come out with a big chip on their shoulder. They hear all this stuff, everyone laughing at the Chiefs for losing and all this stuff, the dynasty's over, all this stuff. They're going to come out with big chips on their shoulder. And I think, talking about looking at within, looking at the reflection, look at what we did look what we did this season with their offense. What can we do to get better? How can we get better? How can we change it up a little bit? I think we're going to see a little different wrinkles this coming year. We should, based on the stagnation we saw this year, because over the whole season was kind of like up and down, stagnant a lot of the time, and I think there's going to be a little bit of a way to kind of look within and do better next year. And I do think our offense could be on fire next year. That's my hope, but I do think that's what's going to happen. It was too much stagnation this year and kind of mediocrity for our offense.
Yeah. Look, everybody's asking for a lot of different presents under the tree. Okay, they are. In this list right here, we're looking at running back, defensive corners, D-line. For me, D-line has to happen. We got it. We have to. We can't leave Chris in there just doing it. I like Turk. I like Turk a lot. I like to have Turk sign something, a friendly deal. I like him. Does a great job. Are we going to be able to do it? Will he take a team friendly deal? Those things. So everybody has a list. Okay. Who's been naughty and nice, Marcus? What are we looking for? What do you want in your Christmas tree? Right? I know you talked about running back and, somebody else is saying running backs and all those different things. I like Kareem. I like Pacheco. You can get another guy here. You get somebody in the draft that you can have for sure. For sure.
With the Pacheco situation, because next year he's a free agent. You're looking ahead, right? So you bring in a guy who can potentially learn from Pacheco and Kareem Hunt. And then if they don't bring back Pacheco, you got this next guy. So it's a deep D tackle draft and a deep running back draft. So those two positions in this draft. Hey, and I see number one for you right there is the D line. So there you go.
1,000%. 1,000%. And how it goes in the NFL, they're always trying to replace you. They're always trying to replace you. This is what football is. This is what football is in the National Football League. Pure and simple. So, it's going to be interesting to talk about these things. I like it. I can't wait for the fireworks and things that's coming out of this, really. So this is going to keep lively for me. I love it to look and talk about some of these things. I'm not going to do 100 mock drafts and all that. No, silly. I'm not doing that. Okay.
We do our one mock draft, the Chief Concerns mock draft, the couple of days before, a week before the draft, and that's where you get JD's mock draft, guys.
Yeah.
JD and Tasia do their mock draft on the show, and boom, that's how we do it.
Mm-hmm. That's it, really. Not doing 100. Yeah, not doing 100 of them. I'm not doing it. I'm gonna look and I'm gonna evaluate. I'm gonna look at the talent. I'm gonna go through what I see, do some tape, college tape and whatnot. I'm gonna look for the fits. I know who I would like at D-line. I already know that right now. So.
Yeah, we'll be talking about the prospects, G-Pick. Yep. We'll be talking about the prospects leading up to usually whenever they have visits or whatever, top 25 visits, we talk about them. We look at them a little bit. But yeah, we do a Chief Concerns mock draft the week before the draft where Tasia and JD will give us their best. We did 4 rounds last year. I mean, once you get to round 7, it's like a crapshoot. I mean, really, it's a crapshoot the first 3 rounds anyway. But we usually do the first 4 rounds. JD and Tage give their analysis on their why they're going with who they're going with. But yeah, the offseason's fun, man. There's the first of many more offseason episodes for the offseason. And like I said, start out with a bang with Justin Ross talk on the first offseason episode. You gotta love that. But yeah, we hope everybody enjoyed the episode. And JD, send us off, brother.
Hey, man, listen. Hey, everything's going to be all right. We're going to be fine. I think Andrea said it earlier. We will be fine, okay? Because like I say, and I keep reiterating this, the Chiefs standard becomes the standard. And it hasn't changed. It has not changed. So don't buy into all the hype and everybody's talking about. Let them talk about all the other teams and stuff like that. We plan on seeing the Chiefs in the Super Bowl again next year. Okay. What we want to do is give these guys some time, relax a little bit. All of us need somewhat of a break, kind of get away from it, take our emotions and feelings out of it, and kind of just relax and woosah, right? That's what we need to do. Britt and those guys have been going to work. They've been talking about these things. They've been asking about who's going to be free agents. They're looking at the guys that potentially will be coming here, that they're trying to draft. They're going to be putting the time and the effort in. We can do our part as well. We can talk about it, and we will. We'll talk about a lot of these things that's happened during this offseason. But my thing is, man, I love having y'all here on the show. Y'all keep coming out here, come checking us out. We're going to have some good things to always talk about, man. Look, I'm one of those, like, I don't like things to sit there and fester and just kind of, I want to address some of these things. That's why I thought it was important to address how people are talking about Patrick Mahomes. I wanted to address, what I think that we potentially could do with our tackle situation. Just want to address how sometimes we can't just get captured just so much in our emotion and things, right? You just got to take stock of it. We're going to be fine. We're going to be all right. These guys, they do a great job, but now they need their rest. So, other than that, man, hey, yeah, so Alder Brown, let's go Duke Blue Devils until the new NFL season kicks off. Right there with you, Alder Brown. I know you're the Blue Devil fan. Yeah, I know. Did you know I was? But hey, let's go Devils. Let's go, baby. So with that, man, listen, hey, Optimistic James, G Pick Toe Free, Ty Toe Free, Wendy, Witchy Hall, Captain Freedom, Alder Brown, ES 3131, Don Peterson, Jacob Donna Bauer, Andre Chenault, G Pick Maria DeJarnes, About Time, Sia McBride, Sasha, Demetrio Spence, Drew Boucher, Nevis Warren. Good show. Appreciate it, Nevis. Hannah. Flapjack City's in the house. What up, Flapjack? Didn't even see you come in. Neff. Love you. We'll see you tomorrow. Optimistic James. Good to come in, man. You slid in late. But it's always good to see you anyway. Rick Henderson. Always good seeing you, man. He said we need a fast running back with vision. Plenty of them in the draft. We'll probably pick one up. I'm sure we will. Chiefs fan 211. Marion Oliver. And I thank each and every one of y'all that was able to, contribute to what we did. And thank you all for just your questions and conversations, man. I love to try to get in the chat and try to see some of these things. There's a lot of conversation, a lot of things talking about. But I appreciate y'all so much and all the things. Alex Bocamp. Let's see who else we got in here. Valerie Sanders as well. I said you earlier, KSU 1989. King Mo was in the house, baby. Morgan D here in the building. Good to see you. Let me see who else we got in here. Cordell Robinson, seeing you as well. Nana Sherry, did I call you? Cliff Johnson. I know I can't miss Nana. Cliff here is as well. But good conversation. Scarecrow, good conversation, you all. And we'll just keep talking. We'll keep talking. But you know what y'all get over here. This is family, Marcus. This is family. This is our people. This is our folks.
Yes,
right
sir.
Here, man. We're going to sit back, relax, have a good conversation, talk some Chief football and all other things that goes on in our life. But you all are very important to us. Appreciate y'all coming on the journey. We love you so much. Iko, I see you in here as well. Let me see. I think, man, that's pretty much it. I don't even know who's all in here, Marcus. But I'm sure we had a good crowd tonight of people. But I always appreciate you guys. All right. Listen,
I think we got up to 400 people tonight.
Awesome. High value, high yield. Illy Beeman, he done slid through. Look at Illy Beeman done slid through. Hagar 22. Enrique Trillo, good seeing you. The Barbershop, appreciate you, my guy. So, Chair 73, good seeing you. Steve Cashman, I see Steve on Twitter all the time. Good seeing you as well, Steve, and talking. Del Monte Green Beans, he came through. DeMonte, senior here, J-Dub 84. Listen, you guys, Hearts and Roses, don't want to miss you either. If I get to say your name, you know how we feel about you. We love you. God bless. Y'all take care of each other. We will see y'all next week. If we don't have anything, unless something comes out, whatever, and we'll put it out there and let y'all know we're going to come in, we're going to talk about it. So, I don't know. I like coming in, just running my mouth. I like seeing my people anyway, saying what's up to y'all. Make sure everybody's doing well. Y'all taking care of each other and loving each other the way y'all should. Marks, my brother, listen, love you. You take care.
You too, man.
We'll see y'all later. Look, send me some things, my DMs or something to talk about and ask. We will bring them out on the show. All right?
100%.
Off season to do it. Get it good time, y'all. Love y'all. Chiefs, Concerns, family. Y'all be
Love
good.
you guys. Have a good weekend, everybody. And also, happy early Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Everybody in the chat, everybody, happy Valentine's Day. Hope everyone does right by your significant others on Friday. It's a Friday night this year, too, so that's nice.
Okay. That's good.
There you go. Love y'all.
Yeah, love the ones that are going to love you. Love them and then some. All right? Love you guys. Y'all take care.
See you, everybody. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.